Well, good evening everybody and welcome along to our latest Monday night Speedway broadcast. A huge thanks to everyone for joining us on our YouTube and Facebook channels once again, and naturally we hope you are continuing to keep safe and well. We will be heading racing in just a few moments time, but first of all allow me to plug the official British Speedway website for all the latest news and views. That is speedwaygb.co.uk. We've also got plenty going on to our social media channels as well during these testing and tough times for us all. You can follow us on Twitter at SpeedwayGB, search SpeedwayGB on Facebook and give our page a like on there. Follow us on Instagram at Official British Speedway, and plenty of old races to keep you entertained on our official YouTube channel. Search Speedway Great Britain. Back to our latest Monday night Speedway broadcast then, and tonight we are heading back to October 2017 and to Glasgow's Ashfield Stadium for the 2017 Championship Riders Individual. We will be going racing in a few moments time, as I say, but before we do, let's remind you of the riders who were doing battle for the title that night. At number 1, it was Stevie Worrell with Aaron Summers at number 2. Josh Orty went at 3 with Ricky Wells at number 4. Danny King was at 5 with Nick Morris at 6. Chris Harris was drawn at number 7 with Yang Ravison stepping in at number 8. Michael Palmtoff went at 9 with Ryan McDonald drafted in at short notice at number 10. Richard Lawson was at 11 with Sam Masters at number 12. Richie Worrell went at 13 with Stuart Robson drawn at number 14, and Paul Stark was at 15 with Jack Holder at number 16. The track reserve for the event was Kev Whelan. Now a quick reminder of the format for this event. So there were 20 qualifying heats, and the top 2 riders after that would progress directly through to the grand final. There would then be a semi-final where the riders who finished 3rd to 6th in the standings would battle it out, and the top 2 from the semi-final would then complete the lineup for the grand final. That's how the 2017 Championship Riders Individual would be crowned. So who would win the final major individual honour of the 2017 British Speedway season? We're about to find out as we head to Scotland for heat number 1 of the Championship Riders Individual. Let's go racing.
So riders on track for heat number 1 here at Ashfield, and Steve Worrell in shot, just going through some last minute adjustments to his machine. Happy with things, and so making his way towards the tapes. Great to see such a fine turnout here at Ashfield Stadium tonight. Fans have certainly come out in numbers for the 2017 Championship Riders event here. And Steve Worrell, he will have the benefit of the inside grid in the first race this evening. 4 riders at the line. We will take you through the lineup from the inside. Going in the red helmet colour, gate number 1 representing the Newcastle Diamonds, it will be Steve Worrell. Next to him, home favourite in the blue helmet colour, Aaron Summers. Representing the Scunthorpe Scorpions, wearing the white helmet colour, will be Josh Orty. And completing the lineup in yellow and black, representing the Edinburgh Monarchs, will be Ricky Wells. Referee here this evening is Willie Dishington. So 20 heats of qualifying action before a semi-final and grand final to determine the winner here tonight as they come to order for heat number 1. So starting marshal happy with them, he walks away, green lights on, takes fly, away they go, and it's a swift start for the man on the inside, Steve Worrell. Josh Orty horribly out of shape on the first corner, so it's Worrell away, Wells into second, it's Aaron Summers in third. Orty trying to recover after a bad mistake on the first corner, but competitive action here in heat 1 with Worrell out front, Ricky Wells chasing hard. It's Aaron Summers in third, and what can the Edinburgh man Ricky Wells do here on Steve Worrell? Worrell making it count from the inside, but Ricky Wells has got plenty of pace and he's trying to hunt him down. 2 laps gone of heat 1. So Worrell out front for the Newcastle Diamonds, and Ricky Wells in second. The Glasgow man Aaron Summers unable to hunt them down. He's in third. Orty, he's at the back. A lap to go. So Steve Worrell starting brightly here. Of course, World Cup hero for Team Great Britain, and he's under severe pressure from Ricky Wells, who's kept him honest throughout the race. But it looks as if the Newcastle man will take the victory in heat 1. Steve Worrell, he wins it. Second man home, Ricky Wells. Third spot, Aaron Summers. Competitive action in the first race tonight. Track conditions not too bad given all the rain that's fallen over recent days. Disappointment for Josh Orty, who's heading back to the pits, but no problems there in Heat 1 for Steve Worrell. The 4 riders heading back quickly. You can see how much of a competitive start it was for Steve Worrell, making it count from the inside, but Ricky Wells was on his tail throughout the race. It was the Newcastle man who hung on there. So Worrell with the win, Ricky Wells for second, and Aaron Summers, he came home in third. Three riders at the line for heat number 2. Good stuff in the opener tonight. And we're awaiting the man in the blue helmet colour for this second race, Chris Harris. Harris representing the Peterborough Panthers, a mid-season signing for them. Taking his time here in this heat 2. The other 3 riders already at the line, and it includes 2016 British Speedway champion Danny King, representing the Ipswich Witches. Danny King it will be who will line up on the inside. When he finally arrives, Chris Harris will go in the blue helmet colour off gate 2. Harris does now arrive. It's Nick Morris for the Berwick Bandits, another mid-season signing. He goes in the white helmet colour gate number 3, and representing the Sheffield Tigers, the 2017 championship champions. The Sheffield Tigers, Jan Gravison. Jan Gravison coming in place of both Josh Grzonek, Kyle Howarth, who are both on the injury list. Josh Bates also. So Gravison reserved for the Sheffield Tigers, but stepping into the breach here at Ashfield tonight. Chris Harris, the last man to settle down here ahead of heat number 2, as they come toward it. Takes fly, away they go. Swift start from the man on the inside, Danny King. It's King into the first corner. He gives the rider in white, Nick Morris, a shove, and slotting through into second, it's Chris Harris. So it's King from Harris, Nick Morris in third, with Jan Gravison at the back. Now here comes Chris Harris, trying to hunt down Danny King. Once again, fine action, this time in heat 2. And Chris Harris trying to hunt down the 2016 British champion. Of course, Harris, 3 times British champion himself, but perhaps over trying in the early stages. Track not yet quite conducive to provide an outside blast, and Danny King allowed to get away. So it's King then from Harris, Morris in third, Gravison at the back. And so the Ipswich captain, Danny King, looking good here. A lap to go of heat 2. King from Harris, more than much to say. After a challenging, competitive first lap, it's settled down somewhat. Danny King now with a comfortable advantage. A bad mistake from Chris Harris on the final corner, but he does bring home the second spot. Nick Morris comes home for third. And good stuff on the first lap or so. And the Ipswich captain, Danny King, making it count once again from the inside. Good stuff, the riders all heading back quickly to the pits. The win in heat 2 goes to Danny King, Chris Harris for second, and Nick Morris, he came home for third. On we go to heat number 3. The first man at the line, wearing the red helmet colour, lining up on the inside, is standing reserve Ryan McDonald. Ryan McDonald stepping into the lineup this afternoon after Craig Cook went sick and unable to be here tonight, and that's particularly disappointing because Craig Cook was one of the anti-post favourites, but unable to be here, and so Ryan McDonald taking his place here in the meeting today. The full lineup then, Ryan McDonald on the inside, next to him, man that needs no introduction to Glasgow fans, it's Richard Lawson. In gate 3, in white, representing the Scunthorpe Scorpions, it will be Michael Palmtoft. And another favourite for today's event, in the yellow-black helmet colour, representing the Edinburgh Monarchs, Sam Masters. And Ryan McDonald just calming his nerves ahead of this heat number 3. Probably the biggest meeting he's ever been involved in. But all credit to him for agreeing to ride here today. So disappointing to learn that Craig Cook unable to take his place in the lineup. So I'm sure Ryan McDonald, as his replacement, will be using this meeting as, say, a valuable experience for him. He's taking his time to calm down. Starting Marshall just checking with the other 3 riders. Sam Masters is ready. He's there in gate number 4. Richard Lawson now obliges, and Michael Palmtoft, the last man to come to order. So they're just about ready then for heat number 3. On comes the green light, up fly the tanks, away they go. Good start out of gate number 2 for Richard Lawson, but Sam Masters has made a good one from the outside. And it's Masters that shows. Lawson trying to storm his way through, and he's inside of him. And that's a good first lap from Richard Lawson. Nothing between them, but Masters won't be denied. Quickly back round to the front, and it's Masters from the Edinburgh Monarchs out front. It's Lawson in second. Third spot, Michael Partoff. McDonald at the back. But good stuff on the first lap of heat number 3. But the Edinburgh man, Sam Masters, wouldn't be denied there. Richard Lawson, despite his best efforts, unable to stop his run. And it's the Edinburgh man away. So Masters then from Lawson, pretty well spread in this heat number 3. With Partoff struggling with the track conditions, but no issues out front for this man. Sam Masters, a lap to go. So Sam Masters has done plenty of laps here around the Ashfield circuit and making it count. Richard Lawson has no answer. As they head into the top corner, comprehensive victory. He celebrates on one wheel. Sam Masters wins. Second man home, Richard Lawson. Third spot, just crossing the line now, is Michael Partoff. And well, Sam Masters made a swift start from the outside. And despite Lawson's very best efforts on their first lap or so, Sam Masters held on to the victory. They've already headed back to the pits. Moving on this meeting apace. So the win in Heat 3 goes to Sam Masters. Second man home was Richard Lawson. And Michael Partoff, he came home for third. On we move to heat number 4. This looks to be a really competitive lineup. Lining up off gate number 1, just about arriving now. In the red helmet colour will be Paul Stark. He represents the Peterborough Panthers here this evening. Next to him, a man of many years of experience, Stuart Robson, who rejoined the Newcastle Diamonds in the summer. He lines up in the blue helmet colour, gate 2. Teammate of Stark's, Jack Holder. Now, plenty of discussion and debate about him. He's in the white helmet colour, gate 3. And off the outside, Glasgow favourite, we're in the yellow and black helmet colour, Richie Worrell. Now, Jack Holder, riding in a shared event today, didn't take his place in the Peterborough Staged 4s back in August, and that really has caused lots of debate and discussion. Promoter of Peterborough, Jed Rathbone, allowing Holder to be absent that afternoon, and while that seemingly has resulted in some very serious repercussions. So riders just going through their final preparations here for Heat 4. Bikes pick up the revs then. Oddflower takes away the game. Superstar out of gate number 2 for Stuart Robson, but very competitive stuff on the first corner as Paul Stark forced him wide, and round the outside came Richie Worrell back through on the inside of Stark. It's Stuart Robson, and some fine action on the first lap, but it's Richie Worrell out front. Stuart Robson chasing hard in second. Third spot is Paul Stark with his Peterborough teammate Jack Holder. He's at the back. So determined effort from Richie Worrell, really fired up on the first corner. It was very tight between Paul Stark and Stuart Robson, but Worrell would not be denied. But Stuart Robson's right on his tail here, really hunting him down. Robson's got plenty of pace and some fine action here in Heat 4. Worrell, one mistake and Robson will be right with him. They come through with a lap to go. Richie Worrell then out from Stuart Robson. Third spot still is Paul Stark. Jack Holder has just about come to a stop. So the Glasgow fans, something to cheer here in Heat 4 as Richie Worrell starts off brightly. He wins it. Worrell with a win. Second man home, Stuart Robson. Third spot went to Paul Stark. Some fine action there in Heat number 4. An acknowledgement from Stuart Robson, both to Richie Worrell and to Paul Stark. And I think Richie Worrell's going to come round on a lap of honour. Fine stuff from them. You can see how competitive it was away from the start line. Very little between Stark and Robson on the first corner. But then blasting his way around the outside was Richie Worrell, and that was a super first ride from him and for the Glasgow fans to enjoy. So great stuff in Heat 4. Richie Worrell with the win. Second man home was Stuart Robson, and Paul Stark, he came home for third. On we go then to heat number 5, and a really competitive lineup for this one with 3 first-time heat winners on show. We have the Worrell twins out in this heat 5 alongside Danny King, and completing the quartet will be Michael Partoff, and he'll be wanting a better ride after running a third place first time out. So with the 4 riders at the line for heat number 5, the lineup C's in red, gate number 1. Glasgow Tigers favourite Richie Worrell. Next to him, twin brother Steve, wearing the blue helmet. In the white helmet colour, gate number 3 will be Danny King, and completing the lineup off the outside in yellow and black will be Michael Palmtoft. As we say, Richie Worrell was impressive in heat 4, so he'll be hoping to make it 2 out of 2 with a swift start out of gate 1 here. Riders are taking their time ahead of heat 5. Two Worrell boys on the inside in no particular hurry to come towards the tapes. They now oblige, and we're just about ready for heat number 5. Up fly the takes on heat 5, and it's a superstar out again, number 2 for Steve Worrell. Steve Worrell instantly goes for the dirt line, coming through on his direct inside is Richie Worrell. So Richie Worrell taking it up, Steve Worrell in second. Third spot out of this stage is Michael Palmtoft, trying to power his way around the outside of Steve Worrell. Competitive action once again on the first lap this time of heat 5, but it's Richie Worrell away. Brother Steve made the best of starts, but Worrell found a way through on the inside. It's Palmtoft in a third with Danny King, somewhat surprisingly, way adrift at the back, as they come through to complete 2 laps. So on his way for 2 out of 2 is Richie Worrell. Brother Steve chasing hard. Equidistance between them and Michael Palmtoft. And Danny King, well, maybe he's changed his setup because he's somewhere adrift in this heat 5. Disappointing ride for the former British champion. As they head down the back straight for the final time then. Richie Worrell, 2 out of 2 coming up for the Glasgow man. Throws it off the top corner. Great stuff from Richie Worrell. He wins it. Steve Worrell home for second. Third spot went to Michael Palmtoft. Disappointment that time around for Danny King. But good stuff from Richie Worrell there, who used his track knowledge to find a way through on the inside of Steve Worrell. After brother Steve had made the best of starts, but Richie, once he got to the front, didn't make a mistake. And that was an impressive ride from him there in heat number 5. So Richie Worrell with the win, Steve Worrell home for second. Third spot went to Michael Palmtoft. Riders coming towards the tapes for heat number 6. Some good action so far. Raced out in front of a bumper crowd. Great to see so many here at Glasgow's Ashfield Stadium. Staging this event for the first time, and it's great to see that they've been rewarded with a large crowd here tonight. And fans have enjoyed some good racing so far. Heat number 6, riders at the line. The lineup C's going in the red helmet colour gate number 1 will be Stuart Robson. Next to him in blue will be meeting reserve Ryan MacDonald. Aaron Summers, he goes in the white helmet colour gate number 3, and off the outside in the yellow and black helmet colour it will be Nick Morris. Well, Nick Morris ran a 3rd place in his first outing, so he'll be hoping for better this time around. Berwick man, of course, joined the Bandits mid-season. Berwick unfortunately haven't had a good year, finished bottom of the championship in what's been their anniversary season as well. So they'll be hopeful to come back stronger next season. So as they settle down then for heat number 6. Takes fly away they go. Swift start out again, number 1 for Stuart Robson. And it's the Newcastle man. He's joined in the first corner by Nick Morris. Takes care of Morris on that first corner, and Robson's away. Determined stuff from the Newcastle man, as unfortunately the rain has started to fall here in Glasgow now. Where's this rain come from? Falling very dramatically here. Hopefully it won't impact track conditions too much. Aaron Summers, however, representing the Glasgow Tigers, struggling with track conditions. And out of nowhere, the rain is falling, and it's falling quite heavily. It's not slowing down Stuart Robson. He's away and gone. Nick Morris in second. Third spot, Aaron Summers. Unfortunately, we've lost Ryan MacDonald, who's pulled onto the centre, as Stuart Robson comes through with a lap to go. So looking good for the Newcastle man here. A mile clear of Nick Morris. Took care of the Berwick man on the first corner and hasn't looked back from there. But hopefully this inclement weather that's arrived will soon disappear. Robson, an impressive ride there. He takes the checker flag. Second man home will be Nick Morris. Disappointment for Aaron Summers, who trickles home in third. And, well, the rain that's falling, not making track conditions particularly easy there in heat number 6. The win goes to Stuart Robson. Second man home was Nick Morris. And Aaron Summers, he came home for third. On we go there into heat number 7. Fortunately, the rain that arrived during heat 6 has quickly disappeared. That's good to see, but the track has taken a little bit of water, so hopefully it won't affect the racing too much as we move on to this 7th race. The lineup for which sees going in the red helmet colour gate number 1, it will be Richard Lawson. Next to him in blue will be Paul Stark. Chris Harris, he goes in white, gate number 3, and off the outside in yellow and black, it will be Josh Orty. Well, Josh Orty was disappointing first time out. Rode in heat 1, finished at the back, so he'll be hoping to make a swift start here from the outside. But 3 hard charges on his direct inside. Chris Harris, second place first time around. Richard Lawson likewise, as they settle down for heat 7. Takes fly away they go. Good start from the man on the inside, Richard Lawson. Chris Harris in there as well, and trouble for Josh Orty, who spun it round going into the first corner. Orty with a heavy knock, red lights are on from Willie Dishington. Let's hope the Scunthorpe man is going to be okay. Paramedics rushing to his aid. And Orty does seem to be in some sort of trouble here. Nasty twisting fall for him, as we'll take another look at it. And you can see away from the line, it was a fast start for Richard Lawson. Chris Harris there as well. But then Josh Orty, all on his own, spinning round on the first and second corner. And hopefully, the Scunthorpe man will be okay. Still receiving attention from the paramedics down there. But no doubt about the outcome of this Heat 7. Unfortunately for Josh Orty, he will find himself disqualified out of the rerun. Restart then of Heat 7. No Josh Orty, so 3 riders only for this one. We've got 2 at the line, Richard Lawson and Chris Harris, and now Harris's Peterborough teammate Paul Stark arrives as well. Will be Lawson lining up in the red helmet colour gate number 1, Paul Stark in blue gate number 2, and Chris Harris completing the lineup in white off gate number 3. So tough night so far for Josh Orty. Rode in last month's Premiership Riders' Championship up at Bellevue, a last-minute call-up for that meeting. Represented the Kings Lynn Stars in that, and rode very well as well. Just missed out on a semi-final place, but no such good fortune tonight for Josh Orty. No points to his name after 2 outings, so plenty of work to do if he wants to book a place in the semi-finals. So we're just about settled down and ready for Heat 7. Takes fly where they go. Swift start once again for the man on the inside. Richard Lawson gets to the first corner. Chris Harris in Chris Harris trademark style, throwing out towards the fence and now giving chase on Richard Lawson. Harris in second then, it's Paul Stark in third, but the Glasgow man, Richard Lawson, looking good out front. So Lawson from Harris, they're well clear of Paul Stark. Harris riding the same line as Richard Lawson. Lawson throwing it up wide on the top corner as well, as they come through to complete 2 laps. Now Harris not too far behind, looking for an opportunity to pounce perhaps as they head down the back straight for the 3rd time. So Richard Lawson looks to be on his way to his first heat victory of the night, which will move him on to 5 points from his first 2 rides. Chris Harris with a 2nd place here, he'll move on to 4. They're both well clear of Paul Stark. Stark so far, he ran a 3rd place in his first outing as well, so he'll move on to 2 points. As they come off the top corner, Lawson, impressive ride from him there. Harris comes home for 2nd, Paul Stark for 3rd. And the Glasgow faithful delighted with that. Good start for Richard Lawson. And then repelled the early challenge from Chris Harris as well. You can see away from the line how quickly Richard Lawson was. Chris Harris instantly threw it out towards the fence, but Lawson was away and gone, and there was no way back for Chris Harris from there. So Richard Lawson with the win, Chris Harris home for 2nd, and Paul Stark, he came home for 3rd. On we go to heat number 8. Last man to arrive is Sam Masters of the Edinburgh Monarchs. Masters was an impressive winner first time around, and he joins the other 3 riders at the taste, although the problem, it would seem, for Sam Masters, signalling back to the pits, a problem with his machine, and that bike has given up the ghost. And with the 2-minute warning already on from Willie Dishington, Sam Masters has got to get a spare machine brought out here from the pits. So in panic for the Edinburgh man, Sam Masters, who started off so brightly, but the bike has given up the ghost here. Meantime, the other riders at the line, waiting patiently for Masters to get his machine sorted. Just 20 seconds or so to go, and seemingly no sign of life yet. Masters still pushing the bike across the middle. Here comes a mechanic, but no spare machine. So I fear that the Edinburgh Monarchs' Sam Masters is going to get timed out here of heat number 8. So news from the pits is that Sam Masters will now be replaced by second reserve Kevin Whelan. Whelan making his way onto track. And, big opportunity for Whelan to savour the prestigious Championship Riders event then. Whelan's ridden this year in the National League, has represented Buxton, so a big opportunity for him here. He will replace Sam Masters, so the lineup for heat number 8 sees going in the red helmet colour gate number 1, it will be Ricky Wells. Jan Gravison, he goes in gate number 2 in blue. Kevin Whelan comes out in white gate number 3, and completing the lineup in yellow off the outside, it will be Jack Holder. Ricky Wells looked quick in his first outing, so he'll be hoping to make it count from the inside. As the starting marshal walks away on heat 8. Takes fly, away they go. Fast start for Ricky Wells. He gets to the first corner, joined there by Jack Holder. Goes right across the corner, does Wells, but he's away, and coming through on the inside of Jack Holder is Jan Gravison momentarily, but round the outside of him, Holder slots back into second. A mistake there from Jan Gravison, and he drops back in third. So it's Ricky Wells, somewhat unorthodox out front, making a few mistakes with track conditions perhaps not as easy as he would like. It's Wells from Holder. They're well clear of Jan Gravison as they come through to complete 2 laps. So looking good for the American. Disappointment for his Edinburgh teammate Sam Masters to be ruled out of this one. But Ricky Wells, if he can bring this home, it will move him on to 5 points. Better ride this time around from Jack Holder as he's chasing hard with a lap to go. So Wells from Holder, well clear of Gravison as they head down the back straight. I think Wells has got this one in the bag as they come off the top corner. So Ricky Wells, good ride from him, making it count from the inside, and it's certainly advantageous to have that inside grid. Every ride from the inside in this second batch of races has been won from gate number 1, and the 4 riders quickly heading back to the pits. So Ricky Wells with a win, second man home Jack Holder, and third spot that went to Jan Gravison. On we go then to heat number 12, and this looks to be a good lineup with Nick Morris lining up in the red helmet colour, gate number 1. Nick currently on 3 points from his 2 outings. Next to him in blue, it will be Jack Holder, and Jack got things back on track last time out with a 2nd place. In white off gate number 3, a man on 5 points so far, Steve Worrell, and completing the lineup, also on 5 points, it will be Richard Lawson. So I'm sure the 2 on the outside, Worrell and Lawson, will be looking to continue their fine night's work so far. 2 on the inside, Nick Morris, well, gate 1's been advantageous certainly in the last 4 heats, so he'll be hoping to jump off that. Starting lady just trying to encourage the riders up towards the tapes. Alternating responsibilities tonight at the start line. That's the Glasgow mascot trying to liven up the crowd as well. So coming toward them for heat number 9. On comes the green light, it takes fly, away they go, and it's a swift start for Jack Holder out of gate number 2. Holder gets to the first corner, but cutting down low on his inside, it's Nick Morris, and Morris comes through, so it's Morris out front, Jack Holder in second. Third spot is Richard Lawson trying to chase down the man in the blue helmet, Jack Holder, that goes wide there on the 4th bend. Out front and looking good, Nick Morris. Holder in second. Third spot is Lawson with Worrell this time around struggling. He's at the back. So the two men that have had good nights so far finding themselves in 3rd and 4th, with Nick Morris looking good out front. So Nick Morris from the Berwick Bandits making no mistake and maintaining this good run of fortune from the inside. Certainly advantageous after the rain has fallen in heat number 6. The track quite greasy, and it's allowing Nick Morris to speed his way to his first victory of the night. It will move on to 6 points as well as they come off the final corner. Nick Morris, impressive ride from him, he wins it. Second man home, Jack Holder. Third spot, that went to Richard Lawson. Disappointment this time around for Steve Worrell. No mistake for Nick Morris, making it count from the inside after Jack Holder got to the first corner as well, but Jack Holder was out of shape on the first and second bend, and after that Nick Morris headed for home. So Nick Morris, an impressive winner of heat 9, Jack Holder for second, and Richard Lawson, he came home for third. On we go to heat number 10, halfway stage of the qualifying heats here at the Peugeot Ashfield Stadium. And the last man to arrive has struggled so far, Aaron Summers. Just a couple of points to his name. And he lines up in gate 4 in this one, so not going to be easy from there. Full lineup, hoping for no mechanical malaise this time around. Sam Masters, he goes in the red helmet colour gate 1. Next to him, was disappointing last time round after looking impressive in his first outing, Danny King, he goes in the blue helmet colour gate number 2. Gate 3 in white, it will be Paul Stark, and off the outside in yellow and black, it will be Aaron Summers. Paul Stark, like Summers, just a couple of points to his name. So can he get his night going here in this 10th race? Be interested to know whether Sam Masters has been able to get his first choice machine fixed ahead of this one, or whether he's had to come out on a spare bike. So just settling down then ahead of heat number 10. Takes fly, away they go. Good start for the man on the inside. Sam Masters gets to the first corner, although goes horribly across the corner, and all 3 riders come through on his inside. Taking it up front, it's Aaron Summers, Danny King in second, and Paul Stark now trying to come around the outside of Danny King. Really competitive action here at heat 10, and making his way to the front, it's Paul Stark. Stark takes it up then from Aaron Summers. Sam Masters tried to recover after a bad mistake on the first corner. He was quickly away, but then shot across in front of everybody, and the other 3 riders came through. Meantime, here comes Danny King powering his way around the outside of Aaron Summers. Fabulous action here in heat 10. Summers back down on the inside of Danny King. King now trying to change his attack once again. Out front and missing all the fun is Paul Stark. He's on his way to his first victory of the night, but meantime, battle raging here between Aaron Summers and Danny King. King's not finished, trying to find a way past the Glasgow man. As they head down the back straight for the 4th and final time, it's going to be a comprehensive victory for Paul Stark, and Aaron Summers will hang on to second. Great action there in heat 10, best race of the night. We unfortunately lost Sam Masters, who pulled out with a lap or so to go, but really competitive action there after Masters had made a terrific start, but then shot across the corner in front of everybody. And emerging from the melee initially was Aaron Summers, and then Paul Stark powered his way right round the outside of him to take a really impressive victory there in heat 10. Though Stark with the win, second man home Aaron Summers, third spot that went to Danny King. On we move to heat number 11, hoping for more of the same competitive action as we enjoyed last time out. That was great stuff in heat 10. Heat 11, it will see Jan Gravison lining up in the red helmet colour in gate number 1. Tough night for Jan so far with just a point to his name. Next to him in blue, it will be Michael Palmtoft. He's scored just 2 so far this evening. Josh Orty, he's failed to score from his first 2 rides. Of course, crashed out last time around. He goes in white gate number 3. And off the outside, a man who's enjoyed a great night so far, Stuart Robson. Robson really rolling back the years with 5 points from his first 2 rides and hoping to make something count here from gate number 4. So Josh Orty will just be hoping he can get round the first corner this time after spinning out in heat 6. Tough night for Josh. But if he can take a victory here, certainly put him on the right path. Still time. You need 9 or 10 points to book a place in the semi-finals. Of course, top 6 progress to the latter stages. Positions 3 through 6 will race in the semi-final, and the top 2 going straight to the final. So, finally ready for this heat 10. Go the takes, away they go. Good start from the man on the outside, Stuart Robson. Robson making it count from the outside and getting away. So Stuart Robson looking good here. Second spot out of the stage, Michael Palmtoft. Into third goes Josh Orty, struggling with track conditions, but he's got into third ahead of Jan Gravison. But meantime out front and looking good once again, Stuart Robson certainly has the optimum setup in his machinery here at Ashfield tonight. Meantime, a hard charge coming up now from Josh Orty, trying to get on terms with Michael Palmtoft, trying to force the Dane into a mistake, and there's not too much between them as Palmtoft's going after Stuart Robson. Robson looking good from Palmtoft. Josh Orty in third. Disappointment once more for Jan Gravison. He's some way adrift at the back. So a tough night for the Sheffield man as they come through with a lap to go. Out front, Stuart Robson. Fine style from him. Revelling in track conditions. Palmtoft pulls off a tear off there as they head down the back straight. He's still got an advantage over Josh Orty. One final challenge coming up though, and Orty almost got there as they came across the line. Whether Palmtoft was struggling for pace, but Orty left it just a little too late there. So good battling action once again, and a really impressive ride. A strong performance tonight from Stuart Robson, who's notched up 8 points from his first 3 outings, and he could be a dark horse for the crown here at Glasgow this evening. So Stuart Robson with the win. Second man home, Michael Palmtoft. Third spot went to Josh Orty in a competitive heat number 11. On we move to heat number 12, the last race before the interval. And a man unbeaten so far from 2 rides, Richie Worrell, lining up in this one. Richie Worrell will take his position in the gate 1 in the red helmet colour. Next to him in blue, impressive performance so far with 5 points to his name, Ricky Wells. In white gate number 3 will be Ryan McDonald, and off the outside in the yellow and black helmet colour, Chris the Bomber Harris. Now Harris has scored 4 points from his first 2 outings, but he'll be hoping to replicate what Stuart Robson has just achieved by hopping off gate number 4 and looking for his first win of the evening. Despite the rain that fell in heat number 6, the track's not riding too bad. Heat 10 was a cracker, pick of the bunch so far. As we get to the business end of this meeting, I'm sure the racing will hotten up further still. There's nobody particularly keen to come to order here. This race, of course, will complete the 3rd round of races, and we'll be able to work out who's sitting pretty at the top of the tree. Richie Worrell looking for a hat-trick of wins, and can he make it count from the inside? So they come to order, heat 12. Takes fly, away they go, swift start from Richie Worrell, gets to the first corner first. Harris has made a good one from the outside, but it's Richie Worrell taking it up. So Worrell out front from Harris, third spot Ricky Wells, Ryan McDonald at the back. A swift start from the Glasgow man from the inside, and Richie Worrell looking good here. So Worrell pulling away from Chris Harris. Harris comfortably clear of Ricky Wells, and they're already well spread here in heat 12. So Richie Worrell having a final night. Knew he'd be determined to put on a good performance in front of his home fans here at Glasgow Ashfield, and he's got a comfortable advantage here over the 3 times British champion Chris Harris. So Richie Worrell will be moving on to 9 points. He will head the score chart at the halfway stage, looking in 5-4, the style of Richie Worrell as he heads down the back straight for the final time. circumnavigating the top corner. Impressive stuff from Richie Worrell. He takes the checker flag of victory. Second man home, Chris Harris. Third spot, Ricky Wells. And that was all about a fast start for Richie Worrell, making no mistake from the inside. Despite Chris Harris's early challenge, Richie Worrell was away, and he's banged in another impressive victory there in Heat 9. So Worrell with the win, Harris home for second. Third spot went to Ricky Wells. So interval stage here at Glasgow, and a chance to look through the score chart. Topping the table with 3 impressive victories so far, it is Richie Worrell, currently on 9 points. Then we have Stuart Robson, also having a fine old night. He's secured 8 points so far with 2 impressive victories. And then further back we have a clutch of riders currently on 6. We have Richard Lawson, Nick Morris, Ricky Wells and Chris Harris all have 6 points from their first 3 rides. Then a couple of riders on 5 points. That's both Steve Worrell and Paul Stark. So some competitive action here at Glasgow as we go into the 4th round of races.
Extra bar facilities, food facilities available on the first bend and the second bend as well.
So interval concluded here at Glasgow's Ashfield Stadium. We are on to heat number 13. We have 3 riders at the line already. We're just awaiting Chris Harris, who's making his way and will line up in the inside grid in this heat number 13. So Harris will line up off gate number 1. Next to him will be Sam Masters. Sam Masters with a win first time out, but then mechanical problems since. So just 3 points to his name. Stuart Robson is having a fine night. He goes in the white helmet colour, 8 points to his name so far. And completing the lineup in yellow and black, it will be Steve Worrell. Well, Worrell starting off brightly, but then last time out ran a uncharacteristic last place. So looking to strike back here if he wants to maintain his challenge for a semi-final berth. So Harris is now taking up his position in gate 1 and going through his pre-race preparations. Harris 6 points from his 3 outings, but he'll be hoping to make gate 1 count. Certainly giving the riders a distinct advantage so far tonight. Nobody particularly eager to take up their place. Sam Masters the first one to oblige, and now the starting marshal just checking with the 2 on the outside. Stuart Robson, great to see Robbo in fine form here at Glasgow this evening. Can he maintain his winning form? So the starting marshal walks away, takes fly, away they go, and it's a pretty level start into the first corner. Harris just about making it count, forces Sam Masters wide, cutting through on the inside is Stuart Robson, and it's Robson taking it up. Harris and Robson into the top corner. Harris won't be denied, trying to power his way right around the outside of Robson, and that's a stunning ride from Chris Harris. Harris out front then from Stuart Robson. Third spot is Steve Worrell with Sam Masters somewhat surprisingly again at the back. Here comes Robson and Harris trading places. Fabulous action in heat 13. Harris once again taking it up on front. Robson looking to respond, throwing it leg trailing style into the first corner here, and Robson's right on the charge now, trying to hunt down and find a way past on the inside of Chris Harris. Fabulous action in heat 13, surpassing what we enjoyed in heat 10. Harris and Robson going all at it out front. Third spot is still Steve Worrell. Unfortunately, Masters has come to a stop, but Robson's really fired up. Can he find a way past Chris Harris here as they turn off the top corner? Harris, I think, will just about hang on. Fabulous action in heat 13 between Chris Harris and Stuart Robson. And it was the Peter Aman who hung on for victory there, but Stuart Robson really charging hard, trying to take the flag. But Chris Harris would not be denied. They traded places throughout that race. Some brilliant action between them both. But it was the Peter Aman, Chris Harris, who won out on the run to the flag. So Harris with the win, Stuart Robson for second. Third spot, that went to Steve Worrell. Well, fabulous action in heat number 13. Brilliant stuff between Harris and Robson. Hoping for more of the same in this 14th race. We have the unbeaten Richie Worrell out in this one, looking to maintain that, I'm sure. Worrell's pretty much done enough to book his place in the semi-finals already. He'll be hoping for another victory just to cement that, and that will probably put him straight into the final. The full lineup for this one: Aaron Summers goes in the red helmet colour, gate number 1. Next to him in blue, Richie Worrell. A man that's had a tough night in white, gate number 3, Jan Gravesen. And off the outside in yellow and black, it will be Richard Lawson. So we have the 3 Glasgow Tigers men in this one, alongside a Sheffield Tiger in the form of Jan Gravesen. So an all-Tigerish Heat 14. And I'm sure Richie Worrell will be looking to come out on top. To Aaron Summers with just 4 points to his name so far. He'll be hoping, I'm sure, to make gate 1 count here. And so the riders once again just taking their time just to settle things down ahead of this 14th race. You can bet that these 3 Glasgow riders in this one will go all at it. You watch Jan Gravesen hop out here just to upset the apple cart. So, finally ready, Heat 14. Takes fly, away they go. Good start for the man on the outside, Richard Lawson, but Richie Worrell's made a good one as well. And Worrell making it count from gate number 2, and Worrell is away. There's no stopping him here tonight. Richie Worrell then from Richard Lawson. It's Aaron Summers in 3rd with Jan Gravesen at the back. Now Summers looking for a way through on the inside of his Glasgow teammate, Richard Lawson here. But Worrell is away. How far in front as well. Worrell has so much speed here tonight. He's a good 20 metres clear already. Richard Lawson then consolidating 2nd ahead of Aaron Summers. And after the excitement of heat number 13, this one somewhat of a more tame affair. Just looking around is Richie Worrell. Has a few rain spots once again falling from the sky as they come through with a lap to go. So Worrell in some blind form here at Ashfield tonight. Nobody's going to stop this man. He'll be looking to go through the card, I'm sure. This race victory will pretty much cement his place in the grand final tonight as he comes off the final corner. Great stuff from Richie Worrell. He wins it. Richard Lawson comes home for 2nd. 3rd spot, that goes to Aaron Summers. And once Richie Worrell got to the first corner and pulled away from Richard Lawson, well, there was absolutely no stopping him. He's got so much speed tonight. Richie Worrell going superbly well, and he takes his 4th victory of the evening there in heat number 14. So great stuff from Richie Worrell. He wins it. 2nd man home was Richard Lawson, and Aaron Summers, he came home for 3rd. On we go then to heat number 15. Jack Holder out in this one wearing the red helmet colour, looking for a swift start from the inside. 4 points to his name so far, so looking to build on that here. Still time for Jack Holder with a couple of victories to go straight into the semi-finals. So Jack Holder will line up in red, gate number 1. Next to him in blue, man who's had a tough night, Josh Orty. He goes in gate 2. Gate 3 in white once again will be Ryan McDonald and Danny King. He completes the lineup in the yellow and black helmet colour, gate number 4. Josh Orty just taking his time to take up his position in gate 2 here. Orty, I'm sure, would have hoped for a better night. But in a similar vein to Jack Holder, still time to bang in some big points. Even with a couple of wins, however, for Orty, it would only move him on to 7 points. So that probably will rule out any chance of progression to the latter stages. But I'm sure Jack Holder here, with gate number 1, he'll be able to make it count. As we touched upon earlier, plenty of discussion around Jack Holder, who now takes up his position in gate number 1. So Holder gate 1, Orty gate 2, McDonald gate 3, King off the outside. Starting also just checking with Josh Orty there. He's now happy, walks away. Takes fly away they go. Super start from the inside from Jack Holder. Well clear into the first corner. He's met there by Danny King, and King's instantly going for the dirt line around by the fence, but leaves a gap through on the inside there for Josh Orty, and the Scunthorpe man goes into 2nd. King looking to respond there, locking up slightly on that top corner as they come through to complete the first lap. But out front and looking good, it's Jack Holder from Josh Orty, who's charging hard right on the tail here of Holder, pulling away from Danny King. These 3 well clear of Ryan McDonald. Now Orty slightly out of shape there once again on the top bend, but trying to build up his pace and momentum now to hunt down Jack Holder right on his tail. Orty really fired up here, tried to throw it around the outside of Jack Holder. Holder reads that well, blocks off his run, and it's the Peter Roman under severe pressure here. Locks up there on the top corner. Holder just about repelling the challenge of Orty. Fine action once again, this time in heat 15. It's Holder from Orty, King in third. Down the back straight they go for the fourth and final time. Jack Holder, he's had to work hard for it, but he looks as if he will bring home a victory in heat number 15. Holder celebrates, he wins it. Orty home for second, King home for third. Great stuff there from Jack Holder. But all credit to Josh Orty, who puts in his strongest ride of the night, but unable to find a way past Jack Holder there. Great action in heat 15. The 4 riders already heading back to the pits. Holder with a win. Second man home was Josh Orty, and third spot, that went to Danny King. Fine action once again in heat number 15. His 16th race. Sees a couple of riders who are still chasing down a semi-final berth. The lineup will be Michael Palmtoft going in the red helmet colour gate number 1. Next to him in blue will be Nick Morris. Gate number 3 in white will be Ricky Wells. And completing the lineup, an impressive winner last time out, it will be Paul Stark. So Paul Stark will be hoping to hop off gate number 4 here. Currently on 5 points. Another victory here, well, we'll move him on to 8, so he'll still have work to do in his final outing. As once again, riders are taking their time tonight. Not a cold evening here in Glasgow, of course the odd rain shower as we've seen, but quite a mild evening. And riders though taking their time as we come through to complete the 4th round of races here. Richie Worrell sitting top of the tree. Going to take a very good man to beat Richie Worrell here this evening. He's been in super form. So, finally ready, it would seem, for heat 16. On comes the green light from Willie Dishington, away they go, and it's a good start from the man of gate number 3, Ricky Wells, and it's the Edinburgh man away. So Wells it is and leads from Nick Morris. Paul Stark slots into third, ahead of Michael Palmtoft, who was sluggish away from the inside, and Palmtoft's really struggling for pace. It's Ricky Wells though, making no mistake, he's out front, but he's got a tiger on his tail here. Nick Morris not too far behind. So Wells then from Morris, third spot still Stark, they're well clear of Palmtoft. Poor ride from the Scunthorpe man, but if Ricky Wells can bring this home, it will move him on to 9 points, and that will put him in a fine position with the ride to go. So Wells then from Morris, but Paul Stark not too far behind, trying to hunt them both down. Morris right to the tail now of Ricky Wells, very little between them as they tear into the top corner. Wells using all of his years of experience to block the run of the young Australian Nick Morris. Morris really trying hard here. Can he find a way past Ricky Wells as they head down the back straight for the final time? I think the American just about has enough in the locker here. One final challenge coming up from Nick Morris, but he's not going to get there. Wells takes the checker flag and victory. Nick Morris comes home for second. Third spot coming home was Paul Stark. And good stuff there from Ricky Wells. Fast start out of gate number 3. And the 4 riders heading back to the pits. Unfortunately, Michael Palmtoft pulling out in the latter stages. But no problems there for Ricky Wells, an impressive winner of heat number 16. Second man home, Nick Morris, and third spot went to Paul Stark. On we go then to heat number 17, the final outing for these 4 riders. 2 of which are still in contention. Steve Worrell and Paul Stark out in this one, and a win for both of them would help their cause. Nothing less, however, is required. Unfortunately for the other 2 competitors, Jan Gravison and Ryan McDonald, both have had tough evenings. Steve Worrell it is that lines up in the red helmet colour gate number 1. Next to him in blue will be Jan Gravison. It's Paul Stark in white, gate number 3, with Ryan McDonald completing the lineup off the outside. So a win here for Steve Worrell would move him on to 9 points. Similarly, Paul Stark, he's also currently on 6, so he'd move on to 9. So both have had reasonable nights with 1 race victory to their name, but looking to sign off with the win here. I think they will be dependent then on other riders' performances in their last outings as to which whether they'll have booked a place in the top 6. So settling down then for Heat 17. Steve Worrell, just some last minute adjustments for him on the inside. Takes fly on Heat 17, away they go. Swift start from the man on the inside. Steve Worrell goes straight across the corner. Paul Stark trying to cut down low on his inside, but it's Worrell that's away. Stark though blasting his way through on the inside of him, and it's the Peterborough man Paul Stark that takes it up. Good first lap from Paul Stark. Steve Worrell looking to respond. Worrell's got the pace, just looking for a way back through here on the inside of Paul Stark. Stark though rides the fence, pulls away from him down the back straight for the second time. So Paul Stark desperate for a victory here. Steve Worrell similarly trying to hunt him down. Third spot at this stage, Jan Gravison, and there's very little between these two out front. So Paul Stark it is from Worrell, really chasing hard. What can he do over the last lap and a half or so? Paul Stark 10 metres clear on Steve Worrell, but Worrell gains ground there, and there's nothing between them with a lap to go. Worrell trying to exploit a gap through on the inside of Paul Stark. Stark though just with the advantage. The Peterborough man I think will bring this home. Steve Worrell though won't give up until the checker flaggers. Paul Stark goes wide on the top corner, but just about hangs on to it. Good stuff from Paul Stark, who does finish with another victory in Heat 17, and will that be enough for him to book a place in the semi-finals? I think that's finished Steve Worrell's challenge off tonight. He started off brightly with a victory, but no wins since then. And as the 4 riders head back to the pits, Paul Stark confirmed as the winner of Heat 17. Second man home was Steve Worrell, and third spot, well, that went to Jan Gravison. Riders on track then for Heat number 18. Focus on this Heat 18 will be on Chris Harris. Harris currently with 9 points from his 4 outings, so needs perhaps a point to confirm a place in the semi-finals. Harris, I'm sure, will be looking for a victory here. That would move him on and finish his qualification on 12 points. And then we'll look down the race card. Stuart Robson could still catch him and indeed overtake him. Robson currently on 10 points, but he doesn't ride again until Heat number 20. So Chris Harris, well, he'll just be focused on taking the victory here if at all possible. Time counting down here for Palmtoft, and indeed the time has now just expired. So Palmtoft ruled out on 2 minutes. Didn't seem to be anything happening in the pits, and so I suspect that Kevin Whelan will get another run out here, but a delay here ahead of Heat number 18. So Kevin Whelan making his way towards the tapes. He will line up off the inside as the 4 riders now come to order for Heat number 18. Upflotter takes away they go. It's a switch down under gate number 3 for Chris Harris. Harris away, being chased off the second corner by Aaron Summers, who slots into second. Third spot at this stage is Jack Holder, sluggish away from the outside, and it's his Peterborough teammate Chris Harris who's away out front. Harris desperate to bang in another victory here. As we mentioned, we're moving on to 12 points. Meantime, a battle developing between Aaron Summers and Jack Holder for second and third. Unsurprisingly, Whelan somewhere adrift at the back. And Jack Holder, this won't be quite enough for him. Started this race with 7 points from 4 outings, needed a win here, but it's not going to happen. With a lap to go, Chris Harris untroubled up front. So Harris from Summers, Holder still in third, pulling wheelies down the back straight. So Chris Harris, 2 wins, he finishes on 12 points, and will that be enough for a place straight to the final? Great stuff from the bomber. A fast start for him. They're certainly going well here this evening. The 4 riders heading back to the pits. The win in Heat 18 then goes to Chris Harris, second man home, Aaron Summers, and third spot went to Jack Holder. Extra time having been allowed for Kev Whelan, who's back out here as a replacement for Sam Masters, who's seemingly not going to take his last ride either. And so Whelan with yet another ride. The other 3 riders in this one will be Richie Worrell, Nick Morris and Josh Orty. Well, Richie Worrell's chasing a full house, 15 points. And Nick Morris currently on 8. He would like a win as well. Maybe second place will be enough for a semi-final. The shakedown of scorers will work out after heat number 20. Whelan's now arrived to take his position in the gate 2, and Josh Orty will complete the lineup. So it's Orty gate 1 in the red helmet colour, Kevin Whelan gate number 2 in blue, gate 3 in white Richie Worrell, and off the outside in yellow and black Nick Morris. So riders taking their time ahead of heat 19. As we say, I'm sure Worrell will want to make gate 3 count here. It's provided the last 3 heat winners, so advantageous it would seem. The track has changed throughout the night. So what can Richie Worrell do here? They settle down, heat 19. Takes fly, away they go. Level start, but it is Richie Worrell and indeed Nick Morris who gets to the first corner. Richie Worrell chops off the nose of Morris. Morris looks to respond, surging his way down through on the inside of Richie Worrell. And it's Nick Morris taking it up, but Richie Worrell won't be denied. Back round the outside of him, and that's a super first lap from Richie Worrell. Worrell desperately wanted that. Wasn't to be stopped there by Nick Morris. Morris had got the run coming up the second corner, but Richie Worrell is now pulling away. Worrell then from Morris. In third is Josh Orty. And with 2 laps gone of heat 19, it looks as if home favourite Richie Worrell will be going through the car with a full 15. Down the back straight they go. Orty now on the tail and on the hunt of Nick Morris. Second place here will do nicely for Nick Morris. He will conclude his qualification on 10 points. I think that will probably be enough for him. But there's no stopping Richie Worrell tonight. Absolutely sensational stuff from the Glasgow man as they turn to the top corner. 5 out of 5 then for Richie Worrell. Goes through the qualifying races with a full 15. Brilliant stuff from him. And he gets a warm round of applause from the fans here at Glasgow tonight. Fine action on the first lap because it was Nick Morris who decided he'd cut down on the inside of Richie Worrell. But Worrell, as they tore into the top corner, was not going to be denied there. Powered his way around the outside of the young Australian. And Richie Worrell, what a fantastic performance it's been from him here tonight. 5 out of 5 from him, 15 points for Worrell, he wins it. Second man home, Nick Morris, and third spot went to Josh Orty. Heat 20 at the line, final action of the qualifying heats, and this is all about Stuart Robson. He needs a win to overtake Chris Harris and to go straight to the final alongside Richie Worrell. The full line for it sees Danny King going in the red helmet colour gate number 1, Stuart Robson blue gate number 2, it's Richard Lawson and he'll be desperate for a win in this one, gate number 3, and off the outside also looking for a couple of points, as you would feel, Ricky Wells. So really competitive heat number 20. Danny King's had a tough night with just 5 points from the 2016 British champion. Started off brightly, but just a couple of points since then. But can he make gate 1 count? Surprise of the night, no doubt about it, Stuart Robson. Robson with 10 points to his name from his 4 rides. And he's been in super form, even the 2 defeats, he was right on the pace. And he'll be looking for a win here. It will take him straight to the final. And then we'll work out who's going to contest the semi-final. Of course, positions 3 through 6 race in the semi-final. Top 2 from that go to the grand final. And then it's a winner takes all 4-lap shootout. So settling down then for heat number 20, starting Marshall walks away. Takes fire, away they go. Fast up from the inside by Danny King. King gets into the first corner, but Richard Lawson's there as well. Coming through on the inside of King, it's Stuart Robson as Ricky Wells tries to do something from the outside, but it's Robson into second, King in third, Wells at the back. Fast start from Richard Lawson, and he's away, and this will help his progression into the semi-finals. Lawson looking good then. Stuart Robson charging hard. It's King in third with Wells. A really poor ride from him. He's at the back, was sluggish away from the outside. Initially tried to surge his way right around the outside of everybody, but found his way blocked and unable to get into contention. But there's no stopping Richard Lawson in this one, looking good. Down the back straight they go. Lawson then from Robson. King still in third. I think Ricky Wells has given up the ghost in this one as they come through with a lap to go. So this will mean that Richard Lawson will conclude his qualification on 11 points, and that will without a doubt put him into the semi-finals. Stuart Robson, he'll conclude on 12, as Robson's giving it one last effort here as they tear off the top corner. Lawson will take the checker flag and victory. Lawson wins it. Second man home, Stuart Robson. Third spot, Danny King. Once again, Stuart Robson really charging hard. But Richard Lawson, you can see what it means to him. He's delighted with that. A victory that books his place without a shadow of a doubt in these semi-finals. Good stuff from Lawson then. He takes a checker flag and victory. Stuart Robson home for second, and Danny King, he came home for third. So 20 heats of qualifying action concluded here at Glasgow Ashfield, and it's the Glasgow Tigers man top of the tree with Richie Worrell going through the card a full 15 points. Joining him straight to the grand final will be Chris Harris. He concludes on 12. Also finishing on 12, but by virtue of defeat at the hands of Chris Harris, Stuart Robson, first man into the semi-finals, where he will be joined by Richard Lawson, Nick Morris and Ricky Wells. And just missing out on countback, Paul Stark, and the man also missing out on qualification to the semi-finals, that was Steve Worrell. Here we go then, semi-final of the 2017 Championship Riders. Just the first two from this semi-final will progress into the final, where they will join Richie Worrell and Chris Harris. And with the four riders at the line for this one, let's take you through the lineup from the inside. Going in the red helmet colour, representing the Newcastle Diamonds, had a fine night, 12 points to his name, Stuart Robson. Next to him, representing the Glasgow Tigers, 11 points from his 5 qualifying rides, Richard Lawson. Gate 3, white, representing the Berwick Bandits with 10 points from his 5 rides, Nick Morris. And finally, completing the lineup in the yellow and black helmet colour with 9 points from his 5 rides, representing the Edinburgh Monarchs, that will be Ricky Wells. We remind you the top 2 only will progress into the grand final. So you'd favour the 2 on the inside, Robson and Lawson. Don't rule out Nick Morris nor Ricky Wells. Both have ridden well tonight. Some impressive performances from them. But Stuart Robson will be hoping that Gate 1 can give him the advantage. Robson's been in fine form all night long. Great to see, rolling back the years as they come to order for the semi-final here at Glasgow's Ashfield Stadium. The green light's on, Mudfly takes away they go, and it's a pretty level start going into the first corner. Stuart Robson's come down, and Robson's hit the net there. It was awfully tight going in, red light straight on from Willie Dishington. Let's hope Stuart Robson's going to be okay. He's already back upon his machine. And that was very tight indeed. We await Willie Dishington's decision as we look at it once more. And you can see as the tapes flew that it was very tight. Robson was away, but then got caught on the inside with Richard Lawson getting there as well. And down Stuart Robson came. He's okay, and it's going to be all 4 back for a restart of this semi-final. Well, good to see that Stuart Robson is okay to take his place. All 4 riders were allowed a little bit of extra time. Robson needing to clean up his machine, but A-OK for this restart. And we'll take you once again through the order for this semi-final. Stuart Robson it will be, gate number 1 in the red helmet colour. Gate number 2 in blue, Richard Lawson. Nick Morris, he goes in white, gate 3, with Ricky Wells completing the lineup in yellow and black off the outside. So hopefully they'll be able to get away cleanly this time. Going to be an ultra competitive first corner once again, I'm sure, as the riders just go through their last minute adjustments, and they're finally ready for the restart of this semi-final. Stuart Robson just taking his time ahead of this semi-final, just wants to be sure that everything's okay. They're finally ready now. Starting lady walks away. On comes the green light, umpire takes away they go, and it's a good start from the man in the blue helmet colour, Richard Lawson, and it's carnage on the first corner and going down. It's Nick Morris hitting the fence, and we've got riders further down as well. Richard Lawson's gone down. Oh, carnage on the second staging of this semi-final. Red lights once again back on from Willie Dishington. I think we've lost Stuart Robson as well, as Richard Lawson's up against the safety fence, trying to gather his composure, and well, more decisions for Willie Dishington. What's he going to say now? We'll have another look at it. And it was Lawson who was quickly away. Lawson first to the first corner, but then carnage. Nick Morris coming down. Richard Lawson's gone down as well. Oh, very difficult to tell who was at fault. And that's a very tough decision for Willie Dishington to make. But quite obviously we're going to have another delay as Richard Lawson sat against the air fence. Let's hope he's all right. Let's hope all four riders are okay. I think the only one that escaped there, Ricky Wells. And well, drama here at Ashfield ahead of the semi-final. And hopefully all four riders will be okay to take their place in another restart. Long delay then ahead of the rerun of this semi-final. Extra time being allowed for Stuart Robson, Richard Lawson and indeed Nick Morris. They all needed the time just to gather their composure and sort out their machinery, because that was quite a heavy knock at that second staging of the semi-final. Hopefully we can get away cleanly this time. The lineup, we remind you, Stuart Robson in red, gate 1. It's Richard Lawson in blue, gate number 2. Nick Morris in white, gate 3, with Ricky Wells completing the lineup. He's in yellow and black off the outside. So hopefully we can get away cleanly as time pushes on here on the Saturday night Speedway at Glasgow's Ashfield Stadium. Been plenty for the fans to enjoy here tonight. As you might expect, riders are taking their time. Hopefully we can get away cleanly this time. Once again, encouragement for Stuart Robson to take up his place. They're now all ready. Here we go. Can we get away cleanly this time? Takes fly on the semi-final, and it's a good start from the man in the blue helmet colour, Richard Lawson, quickly away. It's Stuart Robson into second, trying to find a way through on his inside is Nick Morris, but it's the Newcastle man that shows. So it's Lawson out front from Robson. Robson throwing it wide on the outside. They're trying to hunt down Richard Lawson. It's Morris in third with Wells missing out. He's at the back. A bad mistake, a bad lock up there from Stuart Robson, and seeing a way through Nick Morris, needing no second invitation. Morris takes it up. What can Robson do now? Can he respond? Once again, throwing it out wide. He's got the straight line speed. Can he find a way back through on the inside of Nick Morris? Robson locking it up there, or slightly once again goes wide out towards the fence. Can Robson hunt down Nick Morris? I think Lawson's got the victory wrapped up, but will book him a place in the final. But what could Stuart Robson do here on the last lap? He's got plenty of pace. He's right on the tail now of Nick Morris. Nick Morris trying to hold him off here, and Morris in fact has pulled away from Stuart Robson. One final challenge coming up from Robson, but it's not going to be quite enough, and Nick Morris will join Richard Lawson into the final. Good stuff from Nick Morris. Repelled the challenge there of Stuart Robson, who's so disappointed after a fine night, but all his work comes to an end, and it is Lawson and Morris who have put their place into the grand final. Great stuff from Richard Lawson. He was away and got a victory for him. Nick Morris a really battling ride in second, and Stuart Robson just misses out in third. Here we go then, the grand final of the 2017 Championship Riders. The riders have made their gate choices, and no real surprise that home favourite Richie Worrell has plumped for the inside. And Richie Worrell, well, he's been absolutely sensational here tonight. And he just needs to hop off gate number 1 here and bring home the victory. He'll be roared on by a massive crowd. Everyone in the main grandstand, I'm sure, will be urging Richie to victory here. But it's not going to be easy. We've got the 4 best riders of the night in this grand final. Last minute preparations just taking place down there on the start line, trying to ensure that the bikes are in tip-top A1 condition ahead of this grand final. The qualifying's all concluded. What you did there counts for nothing. It's all about 4 laps of action here. But Richie Worrell will go into this race favourite, I'm sure. Already off his machine in the gate 3 position. Glasgow teammate Richard Lawson just digging a starting position there for himself. He'll be hoping he can jump off gate 3. So the full lineup for the grand final sees Richie Worrell, gate number 1 in the red helmet colour. Next to him in blue, Peter Rapantha, Chris Harris. In white, gate number 3, Richard Lawson. And off the outside in yellow and black, it is Nick Morris. As we say, the 4 best riders on show, they've got through to the final. But Richie Worrell, he'll go into it favourite. Just needs to make a swift start and then roar to victory. He's looked head and shoulders above everyone else here tonight, has had plenty more pace. But it all comes down to this. Who will be the 2017 Championship Riders Champion? As you might expect, the riders taking their time. Nobody particularly keen. The 2 on the outside are ready. The 2 on the inside now join them. Here we go, the grand final. Darnie Marshall's happy, he walks away. Up comes the green light, and up Connor takes away they go. And it's a very level start indeed. Worrell's made a good one, but Nick Morris has made a better one. And it's Morris from the outside. Richie Worrell now, it's got to hunt down Nick Morris. Morris is away. It's Morris from Worrell. It's Harris into 3rd, with Lawson at the back. A superstar from the outside from Nick Morris. And Worrell's under severe pressure here from Chris Harris. Harris throwing it out towards the fence. And things found away around the outside of Richie Worrell. It's all going wrong here for the Glasgow man as Chris Harris has found a way around the outside of him. And now Harris will go after Nick Morris. Morris out front and looking good. Can the Australian for the Berwick Bandits bring this home? Tearing down the back straight. Harris has got work to do here. It's Morris from Harris. Richie Worrell, he's not going to be champion. Morris is a lap away from victory. Nick Morris of the Berwick Bandits looking good, although Chris Harris won't give up until the checkered flag. Here comes Harris trying to build up his pace. What can he do on the final corner? But I think Nick Morris will bring this home. Nick Morris for the Berwick Bandits wins the 2017 Championship Riders here at Glasgow tonight. Disappointment for home favourites. Richie Worrell and Richard Lawson both miss out in the final, but there is James Greaves mechanicking for Nick Morris, delighted with that. What a performance from Nick Morris. He made an absolutely sensational start from the outside, and despite Worrell and indeed Chris Harris's best efforts, Nick Morris has been crowned the champion here at Glasgow's Ashfield Stadium tonight. A mid-season signing for the Berwick Bandits. But Nick Morris, what a performance. He's done it when it matters, and you can see what it means to him. Plenty of support for this popular young Australian, and Nick Morris, well, you feared that having gate 4 in the final would be too much to do, but Morris made an absolutely electric start. He was away, and what pure delight for him. Many congratulations go to Nick Morris, who is the 2017 Championship Riders Champion.
Johnny home, ladies and gentlemen. Stay for the presentation. Thank you again for supporting.
Nick Morris, fantastic performance from him. Just making his way towards the rostrum now. Absolutely sensational start. And he's done it when it matters. Congratulations there from Chris the Bomber Harris. Richie Worrell, he's already at the rostrum. Disappointment for Richie after going through the card tonight in superb form. Unfortunately, just couldn't get away as quickly as he would have liked. Congratulations from Stuart Robson as well. There you can see Richie down on the start line. And he will be the first man up to collect his award. Third place here at Glasgow tonight. George English of the BSPA Management Committee as Richie Worrell steps aboard the rostrum, receives his trophy or his plate for third spot. Just checking out the champagne. Second place tonight, Chris Harris. Tried ever so hard in the final, just couldn't get to Nick Morris as Bomber steps aboard the rostrum there. And very shortly indeed, the 2017 champion will be crowned. Nick Morris, it's been a tough old year for the Berwick Bandits, but Nick Morris has given them something to shout about and enjoy. And Nick Morris is just moments away from stepping aboard top spot. Shakes the hand of both Chris Harris and Richie Worrell, and Nick Morris takes the #1 spot, and here goes the trophy. Nick Morris is the 2017 Championship Riders Champion. So as the fireworks light the sky here at Glasgow, fantastic performance from these three riders, great stuff from them. And we're moments away from the celebratory champagne. Congratulations then go to Richie Worrell, Chris Harris, and the winner of the 2017 Championship Riders, that's Nick Morris.
Okay, delighted to be joined on the Ashfield Centre Green by the League Riders champion, Nick Morris. Congratulations first and foremost, Nick.
Thank you.
The semi-final looked pretty tricky. 3 times of asking. You had to pick yourself up off the ground and dust yourself down, I guess, for the final. How are you feeling first and foremost?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty second-hand. I went in pretty hard and wrote me bike off and done a bit of damage to me inner thighs. So I think I'm going to have a fairly big bruise there, and lucky it's the end of the season, and I'm just glad I capped it off by winning that, so that's good. So
tell me, Nick, how do you pick yourself up, bring yourself back out to the tapes and make the gate that you made in that final?
I just, once I get on the bike, it all goes out the window, really. I just go back to what I know and focus on the start, and that's what we did. I was pretty happy with Gate 4 anyway, and yeah, just focused on the start and made a really good start. We got the spare bike working really good for the final, and it was perfect.
We spoke to you before the meeting, of course, and you were not bigging up your chances, but it's a track that you like, and you had no reason not to expect to have a good meeting today. A sort of slow burner. You done enough to get into the semi-final, and of course it was all uphill from there. It was a tough field, Nick, and you must be delighted to pick up that lovely trophy. Show that trophy to the camera, please. The inaugural winner of the championship, the Individual Riders Championship.
Yeah, I can't ask for much more. It was a slow start, but we managed to claw our way into the semi, and we were feeling pretty good about the semi, and then we had that crash, and I wasn't that quick really during the heats, and then once we got that spare bike set up, it was a lot better than my first one. So it worked out alright in the end. Wish I didn't bend a bike, but oh well.
It's the end of the season. Lots of Bandits fans made the trip to cheer you on. They were making lots of noise from the terracins. Don't be letting Mr. Greaves take all the credit for picking up that trophy.
The Bandits fans have been awesome all season. They've been supporting us like crazy, and can't thank them enough for that. It really helps when you've got the fans cheering for you. So that was good, and having Greavesy in my pit was awesome too. I seen his face after that final, and I'm thankful that he helped me tonight, and I'm happy. I'm so happy that I had him alongside me for that one, and to see that smile on his face, it shows me how much it meant to him as well.
Nick, I know you're heading back down under at the end of the week. Have a safe trip down under. Enjoy a nice winter or summer back home, and look forward to seeing you in British Speedway again next season.
Thank you.
So it was congratulations to Berwick's Nick Morris. An admirable effort, even more so when you consider the incident in the semi-final. Before we do go this evening, please do allow me to remind you of a few things that we have got coming your way. This coming Friday, that's June the 5th, you can join me on our YouTube and Facebook channels once again for British Speedway Quiz Night number 8. And this week it is a special instalment as we will be supporting the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund. Now it is going to be absolutely free to play once again, but we do have more details for you on our speedwaygb.co.uk website. I can now tell you that next Monday night Speedway broadcast, we are heading back to 2013, and I can tell you now it is an absolutely stunning top flight fixture between the Birmingham Brummies and the Peterborough Panthers from the Perrybar Stadium. So join us once again on our YouTube and Facebook channels next Monday, that is June the 8th from 7:30. In the meantime, don't forget, keep up to date with all the latest on our website and social media channels. I'll catch you back this Friday for British Speedway Quiz Night number 8. In the meantime, stay safe and enjoy the rest of your week.